fucking scoot back a little so I guess so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch. Maybe that one.
Welcome to Filmoscopy Podcast, everyone. On this week's episode, we are covering the 1997 cult classic, Spawn. And joining me today is Todd McFarlane's left-hand man, Lance.
D-E-D, dead.
And the real-life inspiration for the Violator's true form, Owen.
Hey, yo, what's up?
Cody,
Yeah.
you're the inspiration for the Violator's name.
Is Todd McFarlane related to Seth MacFarlane?
No,
it's spelled differently. I think Todd has an M-A-C at the beginning, and
they're spelled different? I didn't even know that.
yeah. I always was curious, too. I'm like, they're both artists. They're,
Lance can't talk anymore.
I think he cut out.
Are you
of course, it was working perfectly before we hit record.
Yeah.
Before we get into our histories with the film, I'll go over the basic instincts, the basic information. Spawn was released on August 1st, 1997, has a runtime of 96 minutes. It is based off the comic book series created by Todd McFarlane, who is also well known for creating what character, Lance?
Oh, Sabretooth.
Yes, Sabretooth, if he's possessed by Venom.
Yeah, Spawn is Venom's half-brother. And it comes to like creations of Todd McFarlane's mind. Venom obviously was the alien suit was a created idea already before Todd McFarlane was writing for Marvel. And then him and David Michelinie, I believe, wanted to create another character that they were going to kill off pretty quickly and just use the alien host that was the Spider-Man black suit on different hosts. But Marvel was like, no, this is a big thing, this Venom guy, so we're going to keep Eddie Brock. But yeah, so Todd McFarlane, I guess, is credited with creating the visual of the symbiote joining Eddie Brock and becoming Venom. So, but yeah, that was like, I think 84 is when Venom was first introduced. And Spawn, he created the first issue of Spawn was like 1992. But if you go get the Wikipedia page, there's a thing that he created in like 77 when he was still in like school. Like this really prehistoric drawing of Spawn. You look at that drawing and see what the Spawn became. It's way different, but it's kind of cool to see the history of it. So yeah, so Spawn and Venom are like brothers. And they have kind of similar characteristics. His Spawn suit can turn into pretty much anything he needs, and Venom suit can do the same thing. It's just alien, one's demonic.
Even in this film, when you look at like the way that the Spawn suit or whatever kind of forms around him, it's sort of Venom-like, like the symbiote-like or whatever.
Very much. And this movie, we'll talk about it. This movie, it falls in the same thing where it's like in wrestling when someone has long hair, or it's hard to have emotions shown on the camera when you're wearing a mask or face paint.
Yeah.
If you have long hair and if it's covering your face, they want to see that emotion for you to sell what your character's doing. So this movie has that thing too, like where Spawn it's him in the mask. It looks really cool, but they have that mask come off him way too fucking much.
Yeah.
He just looks like a weird Freddy Krueger kind of ripoff in this.
Oh yeah, his outfit just looks dumb in general. Like I don't know,
well,
it just looks really bad.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But just to finish off like these few details or whatever.
Sorry.
The film was directed by Mark A.Z. Dippe, who has literally never directed anything else of note. Some straight to VHS or DVD movies and stuff like that. He most recently directed the Marmaduke.
He directed Halloween Town High, buddy.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
He directed
so when
that
it got
classic.
When it got bad.
Yeah. And Garfield's
Man.
fucking Fun Fest, okay? So this ain't no damn joke.
It would have been better if it was Garfield's Fuck Fest. Am I right, guys?
He did Michael Jackson's Halloween, the scariest fucking movie ever made.
Hey, Cody, we should make a movie called Garfield in Heat.
Garfield in Heat.
It's just him. It's just him fucking a pan of lasagna every scene.
It's just him going.
Well, he's either fucking it or he's squatting over it, going, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
He goes, "Oh, you're making me really horny."
All right. So the film had a budget of somewhere between $40 and $45 million, and it brought in a box office of $87.9 million.
Ooh,
So
damn! It probably
Yeah.
barely made its money back.
yeah, as far as like fun facts about this film, I don't have any.
There are none.
I will say that the soundtrack is like full of like like the idea for the soundtrack was like taking like hard rock or metal bands or whatever and having them like work with like electronica artists of the time.
Mhm.
So you have like on the rock side you have Korn, Incubus, Metallica, Marilyn
Filter.
Manson, Filter, and on the electronica side you have artists like the Dust Brothers and the Crystal Method.
And Moby.
Moby, you could get stomped by Obi.
Moby
Uh,
Dick.
Moby D's nuts.
Obey my dick.
And it seems, as far as I know, all of the songs on the soundtrack are actually made for the film, right? Like, cause Korn and the Dust Brothers doing "Kick the PA." I don't think that's like on any. That's not like a remix of one of their songs or whatever. I think it was made for this.
Yeah, and I didn't hear any of the Korn music dropped in this movie. It seemed like they were playing that Marilyn Manson song like two or
Yeah.
three times, and then you heard the Filter
Yeah.
song, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was supposed to be like a Butthole Surfer song in here, but I didn't hear it either.
Yeah, there is a
No, there
butthole.
was a butthole. You just missed it.
Yeah.
There's a
I
Butthole
would've-
Surfer song on the soundtrack, but I don't know where it would have been in the film. But yeah, I thought I remembered there being like word that someone else was supposed to play Spawn before Michael J. White took the role. But I
know
having...
Michael J. White was. They wanted him to play Jax in MK Annihilation, and he chose to do Spawn instead.
Didn't he also play Jax though?
Well,
Didn't
he played Jax in the Mortal Kombat Legacy web series
Oh,
in that little Rebirth movie, but that was 2010 and then 2011 to 13 when they were filming that stuff.
gotcha.
So it was like 14, 15 years later.
Yeah. The most surprising fact about the production of this film, I think, is that Industrial Light and Magic, it was the film. They had a deal with a company that was made of former Industrial Light and Magic people. But
Industrial Light and Magic, is that from Star Wars?
yes, yeah. They're like they did that. I think they did E.T., Jurassic Park. They worked with Lucas.
Okay, yeah,
they worked
so-
with Lucasfilm and
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg. Yeah, Spielberg a lot. But I think it's one of those situations where these guys left to form their own company to work on the film, work on Spawn, and then I think after Spawn came out, I think they got purchased by Industrial Light and Magic, so they were just like reabsorbed back into the company anyway.
I'll tell you one thing, man. That investment couldn't have been high.
They fucking suck.
Yeah.
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 It's this movie. Like when we get to, I'm not trying to like. I went in this movie thinking I was gonna like it. Said I watched it a few times. We'll talk about our first experiences here in a few minutes. But good God, man, this movie makes Mortal Kombat Annihilation look great. Mortal Kombat Annihilation's got like a fucking 8 or 9 on Rotten Tomatoes. This has a 17. Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
The action's at least better. At least the human action looks better than the Spawn action. I know the CGI's shit, But Annihilation looks way better than this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how this would have gotten a higher rating because, like, well, I guess they both, when you really think about it, they both kind of have shallow stories. But yeah, the humans fighting each other in Mortal Kombat Annihilation is a lot better than a lot of it in here. Even like the choreography for like a lot of the action scenes in this, like you can just tell that it was like chopped up because of like the MPAA, I'm sure.
Well, and you also don't have a lot of characters that are like fighting. It's Michael J. White, who I don't know at the time if he was, but I know he's like experienced in a martial arts. Like, you know, he's that's something he's delved into in his life.
Yeah.
But there's nobody else. He's interacting with all CGI shit.
Yeah, well,
You know, he grabs one human by the throat, and that's the kid's dad. But there's nothing else like when it comes to a fight scene that even.
Yeah, a lot of like the action
like
or the combat or whatever is like it's with guns. So it
and
doesn't.
that's Spawn too. That's
and going to like, you know, Owen earlier was talking about how like it looked bad whenever he was like in this full like costume or whatever. A lot of the scenes where he's like running around shooting just look goofy. Like,
yeah, it's like he's wearing like, I don't know, he looks like a fucking big baby or something. Like he looks dumb.
I think it would have been better if they had like a cape on him or whatever. But like most of the scenes, he doesn't have the cape because whenever he does have the cape, it's like that shitty CGI, just like
really
reflective red look splashed all over the screen. And so in any of the other scenes, he's not wearing it, and it just makes him look dopey.
He looks like a fucking like baby alien, like a naked baby alien. His fucking eyes are too far apart too.
Cody.
Yeah.
Cody, do you remember when we watched the original Swamp Thing movie? I brought it over.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like I showed you like his progression of his costumes where they added more moss to it. But if you look up the Swamp Thing from that first movie, Spawn's head just looks like a brown version of that Swamp Thing costume almost. Like there's like it's just all slick and just green, and his is just all slick and wrinkly and like brown.
Yeah,
because he's burnt and shit. But it's look, and to be honest with you, I didn't mind the costume. I guess that's gonna be one of the positive things for me. The cape obviously looked like shit. And like I said, I told you guys before we hit the record button. And I've said this before, there are some movies that look better on VHS than they do with high definition, what DVD did, and what Blu-ray was able to do, and what HD has been able to do with that in 4K. This movie looked fine on VHS. I remember watching this movie a couple times. It was my first experience. Like I got it like the year after it came out. But my God, man, this thing, I mean, I watched this thing on PS5. On a regular, just HD television, this TV is probably like 10 years old. So it wasn't like I had like, 4K graphics like Cody does. But holy shit, man. I thought I had rented the standard edition, a standard definition. I'm like, did I hit the wrong one? I'm like, no, this is the HD one. Holy shit, man.
You can see like the aliasing like on the fucking 3D models and shit. Like, they look like you can see the jagged pixels and shit on them, and like all the textures are like really bad. Especially the big dude Malogi Malabubi or whatever the fuck his name is.
Violator.
No, not the Violator. The fucking
the one in hell.
Yeah, he just fucking sounds. He's like, I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Malabolgia.
He's like, Malabolgia, okay, my bad.
Yeah, his fucking voice.
Mala, look at my bulge over here.
He's like, next time, Gadget, I'll get you next time.
I know, yeah. Dude, hey, Cody, look, I figured out if I pull off, like if I make my Skype like screen on screen and I go to another app, that's when my mic cuts out, so I'm not going to do it. Cody, does this say who the voice of Malabolgia was?
Yes, Lance, thanks for asking. It's Frank Welker, who...
Oh my God, that's so fucking awesome.
Is he the one who did fucking what's the Mad Guy? Because it's like the same exact voice.
Dude, yeah, he's Dr. Claw or whatever.
He's done a lot.
Every voice you've heard in your childhood is Frank Welker.
Yeah,
Why
he's
didn't
done...
he do? It's such a goofy voice to do with somebody who's supposed to be like Satan. Though.
Well, man, I'm sure like he. I mean,
I mean, I
I'm
like
not
his
going to
work,
defend.
but I mean, like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's just
I'm
like
not going to defend it.
just like
Like,
Martin
but
Sheen in this movie. Like, I like Martin Sheen's movies, but in this, he's like, it's a fucking
Dude,
like he does
Martin
not give
Sheen,
a fuck.
he is like over the top in this movie, and it's like his voice is also all over the fucking place. Like there's a when you first see him on screen, there's a line that he does like when he's briefing Al about like their mission or whatever, and he sounds exactly like the Colonel from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit! And then like later on, he's just like he's just like raspy Michael Sheen. It's just like, what the fuck is this?
Don't kill me! I got a pacemaker.
He's like,
something.
when I get a hold of you, fat boy. Just like, oh Lord, he is.
I'm gonna fuck your wife next.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be too critical because as a man with hair loss, he still has his hair, but he has a lot of just for men in his beard in this movie. Because you could tell that beard he has, which doesn't really connect on the sides of his face, is definitely colored brown. Because at that point, he's already in his 50s by this time this movie comes out.
Yeah,
like, I loved him in Wall Street though. You ever seen Wall Street?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, it was a joke. Charlie Sheen is obviously
Charlie
his son,
Sheen.
right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, they made a movie called Hot Shots, and then Hot Shots Part 2, and with us made by the guys who made the Naked Gun movies and Airplane. And there's a scene where they're spoofing Rambo, and Charlie Sheen is playing the Rambo character, and he hears somebody's thoughts. He's like, "What?" Because he's thinking to himself, writing in a journal. And then they're mimicking the scene from Apocalypse Now with Martin Sheen, who's on a boat writing in a journal. They both stand up as the boats cross, and they point at each other, like, "Loved you in Wall Street." So it's pretty good. I mean, especially if you've watched Apocalypse Now, the joke means it actually means something. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. We did Apocalypse Now, like our second movie, and this will be our last movie we ever do. Is Spawn. It's got Martin Sheen in it.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Cody, bringing this full circle, man. Like, I promise you, if we ever decide to end this podcast, my last movie's gonna have a fucking truck chasing somebody. Because our first episode was Duel.
Kind of running out of those. we've had Duel.
I know. I mean, Cody picked the best one. Fucking Rumple Foreskin.
We had Duel, Maximum Overdrive, and Rumpelstiltskin. I don't know if there are anymore.
Maybe, trust me, I'll find it.
What were those old like cheap ass horror movies from like the early like 2000s or whatever? God, it's like
The Hitcher.
No, not those. It's like Wrong Turn or some shit like that.
Yeah. Wrong Turn. You're right.
Yeah, I think those weren't they
that,
also
yeah.
being chased down by semi trucks in that movie.
Yeah, dude. Fuck. Hell yeah. we'll have to like fucking like do something like that if we ever decide to end the podcast, which is nowhere near the time. One of us would have to die for that to happen.
Have either of you ever read like the Spawn comics or anything?
I've never read the comics. No, actually, you know what?
So here,
let's get into our history with Spawn. And let's let Lance go first.
Oh, okay. Oh, usually this guy talks the most. No, I never read any of the comics. I was aware of him as a comic book character. My uncle, who was 13 years older than me, had a Spawn action figure. So I say 1992 is when it came out. I think my uncle moved out of my grandparents' house in like 94, 95, if I had to like place it together. So he had an action figure. Because I got a Spawn action figure from him that was his, and then a Punisher action figure. That's how I knew who Punisher was. But I never read any of those comics. And then I had probably seen on MTV when they had the Spawn cartoon. And obviously I had seen this movie when it came out, like a year later. So that would be 98. And then obviously Mortal Kombat 11 had Spawn in it, which was pretty incredible. But that's kind of just my history of it. I had an action figure I got from my uncle, and then this movie came out, and I saw it then. So,
Owen.
So yeah, I also had the action figures. I had Spawn. I think I had the original like ones that came out. I had Spawn, I had Medieval Spawn, and I had Violator. Violator came with this comic book. The only two comics I've read of Spawn is like the first one and then that Violator one, and that was it. I was pretty young. I was probably 6 or something. But outside of that, I never watched any of the animated series or anything like that. I never watched this or anything. I always liked Spawn, but I don't know. I never got around to actually like watching anything actually or doing any kind of actual, you know.
That series that was on MTV is on HBO Max or Max, I guess just to say. So if you want to watch it, I'd watch it. Like I say, the artwork looks good in it. From what I've watched of it, I just never had the inclination. I think Spawn's a cool looking character, but it's not like living, breathing. Like I have to like watch this type of deal.
Yeah,
it was just
exactly.
this movie. The more that I think about it, he has like a satanic, almost like Deadpool quality because he constantly regenerates. He's got the mask, and I think in Mortal Kombat 11, one of the color palette swaps that you can do of his costume is red with black over his eyes and his face, so he looks kind of like Deadpool. So,
I think
go
that's
ahead, Cody. I didn't mean to
I
steal
think
your
that's
thunder.
actual action figure that was made before.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think so.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's a reference to something to do with the toys, I think, but it may be from the comics. But I've never read any of the comics. Much like Owen, I had an action figure or two of Spawn when I was a kid. I was never made aware of anything else that Spawn was part of until Soul Calibur 2, when it was he was part of the Xbox version of that game. So I remember like hearing about it and seeing it in magazines and stuff. But when I was in high school, a friend of mine like showed me the animated series for the first time. And like that's when I was like, "Oh man, this is awesome!" But I've never seen the entire series. And also when I was a kid, I'd watched this movie several times, but I had not seen it since. Like I hadn't. This is the first time I've seen this movie in probably like 25 years. So, yeah,
Welcome
and of
back.
course, Mortal Kombat 11. Uh,
Yeah. Which is voiced by
Keith David.
David Keith?
Keith David.
Keith David,
Yeah,
okay.
he voiced him in the animated series.
And he's also in a movie that eventually I'm going to have the courage to cover. I don't know if I can do it justice as the host, but he plays in The Thing. And he's a fucking awesome fucking character.
Thing.
Well, you gotta shout him out for his most iconic role,
Arbiter in Halo.
Arbiter. Yes.
I thought you were gonna say something else too. I was doing that as a joke. I didn't know that's what you actually
what
meant.
There's a there's a movie with God, I can't remember the fucker's name. I know it's the comedians Larry the Cable Guy and Bill Engvall, and they're like Marines or some shit like that, and he's their drill sergeant. So they end up getting taken over to the Middle East, and when they drop out of the plane, they think he's dead, so they bury him. And then they end up, somebody ends up drinking all the water in their canteen. They're like, man, I got to pee. So one of them just fills up the canteen of it with piss and leaves. And like, I don't know, 10 minutes later in the movie, he crawls out of the sand because he's not dead. And he's like, obviously searching for water. And he grabs the little canteen, he drinks it, and spits it, and goes, I'm going to kill those sons of bitches or some shit like that. I think he says, like, I'm going to kill those motherfuckers. I'm going to find the clip so you can put it in this episode. But God, he's pretty fucking great. And he's awesome to Spawn. Like,
Yeah.
It's just his voice. And like the voice work in that cartoon, which is kind of like a mature rated Batman animated series.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way
But
to describe it. With a Goosebumps intro for some reason on every episode, where like
yeah, and
it's Todd McFarlane sitting in a room and like it's him explaining what the episode's about, in the same way R.L. Stein would do for Goosebumps.
Cody, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because me and you have very differing opinions about this director. I think he's fine. You worship the ground he walks on.
Ron Jeremy.
Yes. No. This movie felt like somehow I imagine it has more of a budget than these movies, but it felt like like a shittier Tim Burton Batman setting. Like the live action stuff, obviously not the CGI. Like when I was looking at like where he was in the alleyway, I guess it's in New York or whatever. It felt kind of very Tim Burton-y, like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Gag, and the Batman movies he did. And it's like this is like if Tim Burton ran out of money because he spent it on like cocaine, and he designed this set. And it's like it's just a trashier Tim Burton is what this movie felt like. The direction of it.
Mm-hmm.
With weird voiceovers, like it was narrating a comic book. And then I gotta call this out right now. The fucking title sequence and the credits. If you're actually watching it. Because I gotta sit here. Because another director Cody likes that I really don't like. Oh god damn! I just
Sam
had his
Raimi.
name. Sam Raimi. I sit there talking about his fucking cinematography, how he does that little shaky shit that makes you feel like you're on a boat.
Yeah.
My God. I don't know whose fucking decision was to fucking do this, if they were coked out. You can't read anybody's name. It will stay like still for a second and a half, and then it starts flickering and start moving in weird directions and shit. It's like, oh my God, guys,
It's
come
edgy,
on.
dude. It's badass.
Every
like-
time I go to mention Sam Raimi's name, I think of Tom Savini for some reason.
Tom.
I don't know why.
I like when Todd McFarlane's name came up, and then like in the background they just had like Todd all blown up and like all demonic looking, and I was like, "Oh no, Todd, the scariest name."
Shit.
Todd.
Now,
hell yeah.
they wanted to do. He's been wanting to do like a reboot.
Yeah, it's
for a long time in this
Jamie
movie.
Foxx is supposedly supposed to play Spawn.
Dude, that was like 2015 when they announced that.
Yeah, I know.
That was 10 years ago.
I know,
Never
but
happened.
it.
And
Yeah,
now Blumhouse is going to be doing it. Because I know I read Todd wanted to be the director of the movie. He'll have Jamie Lee Fox.
Jamie Lee Curtis is gonna be Spawn.
Well, to be honest with you, she wouldn't need much makeup. Jamie
God.
Foxx was attached as going to be Spawn, but then years like 2016, 2017, nothing happened, and then Jamie Foxx is like, I don't think the movie's happening.
Yeah,
I know Michael J. White wanted to get back into the role, and all of a sudden now I think evidently it's going to be 2025. It's going to come out.
yeah, we'll
I
see.
don't know for sure.
We'll
I
see.
think if Blumhouse has got their hands on it,
Yeah, we'll see what comes out first, Spawn or Blade, because they both just seem to be delayed forever.
And the first Blade movie, Cody, that came out in '98, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so like I was reading like on the bottom of the Wikipedia page because this is all the research I did because it's not my movie. They were talking about how Spawn paved the way for like a big blockbuster like Black Panther that came out in 2017 or 2018, I believe. Like, you finally had a big comic book that was starring predominantly African American characters that was a huge hit, and then they were saying that Spawn and Blade paved the way. So I'm not demeaning this movie in any way if anyone's listening. I understand the importance of having like African Americans like represented in film. This is nothing against Michael J. White. I think he does the best he can with this movie.
Blade is a much better movie.
think this movie is Blade's a much better movie, but I just think this movie is not well directed. And it's just really, I understand Spawn's an ugly setting anyway. It's like I said, the worst settings in a comic book from one of the few things I've watched. It's not talking about that. I'm just talking about the character.
Yeah, it's not even the setting. Like being ugly doesn't even bother me in this movie. Like the alleyway and stuff like that. The most egregious.
No, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the character, like the
Oh,
cartoon. That's where it's set. It's setting in a place as close to hell as you can get on Earth. But it's it's supposed to be like a holy place, like a sanctuary for him. This, like I said, it's just hard to the fucking transitions in this movie are pretty fucking bad. And this is nothing against the actors, just like the people who produced and oversaw this movie. Like, holy shit, man! This movie does not look like it cost $45 million.
You don't like the scenes where they go to hell and it's just like entirely CGI, except for Michael J. White standing there.
I
My
like it.
PlayStation 2 videos look better than that, Cody.
This shit looks like Resident Evil fucking 1 CGI. That's what's so funny was
Dude.
reading the reception and people being like fucking, these are next generation special effects, CGI graphics. It's like, motherfucker, this shit looks like fucking, like, I don't even know. This shit fucking looks like I said, fucking Resident Evil 1.
Next generation, and we mentioned this movie a lot on this podcast, but this movie came out after Jurassic Park. How could someone see Jurassic Park and then see Spawn like 2 years later and be like, this is the next step?
Let me go over to my pile of PlayStation 1 games and see which one has better fucking... Frogger on the PS1 has better graphics than this fucking game, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, we just talked about. Remember, Cody, when we watched the Mortal Kombat '95 movie, how you were really critical of the scorpion, serpent creature, and reptiles like CGI rendering.
Yeah,
they both look better than this movie.
Yeah,
like the only thing that can compete with this movie, and even it tops this movie, is the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns when he shows up as a half scorpion creature.
Yeah, at least that was PS2 graphics.
This shit's like the fucking Twisted Metal 4 fucking CGI cutscenes is what this shit looks like. Fucking people made a balloon.
This shit looks like the shit I had a shit earlier with. And it was like all soupy and stuff because all I had was cheese dip today. It was like, ugh, that's Spawn.
And it was shit.
It was shit, man. It's just rough.
You just looked in the toilet, went and grabbed a Spawn action figure and threw it in and be like, yep, that's the movie.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, like... I don't know. The movie's plot is so by the numbers.
Basic.
Yeah, it's so. Even the way they tell it, like I know the original comic I think follows a lot. I mean, the comic is lifted up because Spawn's kind of like a sum of its parts, right? Like it's the cool art and like the cool character and shit like that, and the really impressive, like really busy and detailed like art in the comic. But in this, there's none of that. So you just have the boring ass story, and even that's not told very well, and it's not acted very well.
Yeah, because I mean, basically the story is Al Simmons is a CIA agent. He gets sent on a mission to assassinate like 4 targets, but he ends up killing like 20 innocent people in the process.
When you said targets, I was thinking like he assassinated 4 Target stores. Like, he just blew them up. I'm like, where was that in the movie? I don't remember this at all.
I guess he's supposed to be like, I don't know. I thought he was like a bad guy when he first showed up, and I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah. Well, his buddy or somebody reprimands him, like, dude, like bro, no cap, you killed too many innocent people.
He said, dead ass, bro. Dead ass, no cap. Bro. He said blood. Is blood from Ohio?
But he apparently has been doing this for a while, where he just has no regard for innocent lives or whatever. Meanwhile, in hell, Montezuma is trying to like build an army to go invade heaven.
An army of 2D fucking spawns that played the same animation over and over again.
Yes, exactly. He
real quick, talk about the animation, Cody. If you look at the cutscenes of Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, they look better than this movie.
That's what this shit looks like, for real.
It really does. Real quick, Owen, before we get even deeper into this mud pie, this Spawn was created through like Image Comics, right? Like that was like the brand that Todd McFarlane started up after he left Marvel.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like, after everything, I know there was probably smaller comic book companies, but at this point it's all been kind of consolidated into DC or Marvel by the early 90s, and he left and started his own brand. So I guess if you think of wrestling terms, you have WWE, WCW, and Image Comics is like the ECW. Mm-hmm. Like there's no, like, he's doing his own thing and shit like that. So I think people probably were celebrating. I know Todd McFarlane was really celebrated coming off his Spider-Man run. So he rode that momentum and started that company.
And made a shit ton of money on toys. Like,
yes. I mean, hell, he still does. I got a fucking I got a McFarlane Scorpion fucking action figure hanging up on my wall, and I got a Noob Saibot action figure from both of them from Mortal Kombat 11 on my girlfriend's makeup desk.
Aren't those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures I got you? Aren't those? No, those are NECA. Never mind.
Yeah, NECA, yeah. But McFarlane, his company makes a shit ton. Now, Image Comics did go bankrupt in like '08, and Marvel ended up buying them. So
Marvel, baby. Hey, do you guys know the game Oddworld: Abe's Odyssey?
I do.
Okay, that game came out a month after this movie, and I don't know if you remember the CGI cutscenes from that game, Cody.
Yeah.
But they're like really impressive for like the late '90s, right?
Mm.
Like, and this is a fucking supposed Hollywood production, and that game just fucking blows it out of the water. So it's just, I don't know. I was just really like fucking. It's so funny to me that people back in their reviews were like, "Yeah, the CGI is really good, but like everything else is kind of shitty." It's like,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Like, it's so weird to think about. Like the first Spawn comic came out, like say it was like mid 1992. And this movie comes out in 97, so it's pretty incredible in like less than 5 years, kind of like with Mortal Kombat. The first game came out in 92, then the movie comes out in 95, that it blew up enough to get a $45 million budget. And whatever came on screen, but I know it was good for marketing for that character. And I know, I think I was reading when that movie came out, Spawn was the #1 selling comic that month.
yeah, yes, I think Spawn was the shit in the '90s, right? I mean, a lot of comic books were big in the '90s. I remember, or I don't remember, but I remember hearing.
Yeah, you weren't even alive.
Yeah, you weren't.
I
alive
remember
yet.
it, dude. I was there
I remember.
in a past life.
He's like, bro, I totally remember.
I was
bro.
a
It's
beetle.
literally me.
I was a beetle upon the wall. I got
I mean,
reincarnated.
you look like a younger John Lennon.
Yeah, when I got fucking shot. Well, he got shot in the '70s, so I still wouldn't remember the '90s.
No, his hair. You're his reincarnation.
I said
He died one more time. He died one more time between him dying in like '77.
Yeah, he
and
got
then you being
reincarnated
born
a
in-
second time. Fucking died.
You actually got reincarnated, and you were like 17 years old, and you were walking out of the theater
I
seeing
got
Spawn,
shot again.
and you got shot by someone named Joe Chill.
He was very chill though.
That was a Batman reference, but anyway.
Yeah, I remember from Batman. Now I don't. My comic book knowledge isn't great, but I remember him from Batman Begins. Also, hot take, real quick, because I sent a text message to Alex and Cody. I copy and pasted it and sent it to Cody because I was just curious. I'm like, I don't feel like typing it out again. Would you rather watch The Dark Knight Rises or The Batman again? And Cody goes, The Batman. And I'm just reading it like I think Cody would have said it. And then Alex goes, The Dark Knight Rises. He goes, I cannot sit through The Batman again. He goes, I like The Batman. I just can't sit those 3 hours again. And I'm like, you know what? I stare at that movie every time I get on Max going, you know what? I want to watch this. I have the Blu-ray in my room. I go, I want to watch this. And I start watching it like first 45 minutes. I'm like bored out of my fucking mind.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's fucking god awfully long, isn't it?
Yes, I'm like, for a first movie, like The Dark Knight Rises is like 15 minutes shorter than The Batman, and that's the finality of a trilogy.
They should have had an intermission in that movie for everybody to like get up and take a piss. I think I had to when we watched it. I think I had to like piss twice.
Yeah, I made the mistake of buying an icy when we went to go watch it. I'm like, fuck. First like 20 minutes, I gotta go piss again. And then it was funny. I've been trying to get We just got done watching them. I got through the Logan X-Men movies with Savannah. We watched X-Men 1, 2, 3, Origins, The Wolverine, Days of Futures Past, and then we watched Logan. And I'm like, we have to watch this movie now because when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, it's going to ruin the ending of Logan. So she was not expecting him dying at the end. Since her and Riley were tearing up and shit, I'm like, fuck yeah. But
Dude, spoilers.
that's how you do it. Like
the fuck?
It's 2017. Come on.
The funny thing is, I watched Deadpool versus Wolverine like last week. So.
Oh, you did? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was. I liked Deadpool, so it was pretty good.
Yeah. You've seen Logan before, right?
I saw most of Logan, and then I had to go do something, so
Oh, okay.
I never watched him actually
like
die.
I said,
I think.
We're gonna watch him in a. Well, you knew he was dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we got a month and a half before we watch it. It's still a great fucking movie, but the Batman, dude, the Avengers Endgame's 3 hours long, and it doesn't feel like 3 hours. And the Batman's like, hey, everybody's gonna look like a fucking retard, and I'm gonna walk around like Michael Myers.
Something
in Halloween 2.
In my ass. What's the longest movie ever made?
Don't ask, you'll pick it.
The 10th Kingdom.
What's it about?
Oh fuck, I don't.
A
remember.
Kingdom.
It's about the
Stephanie
10th
used
You
to
watched
watch
it,
that.
Cody?
When we first moved in together, Stephanie used to watch that movie a lot, and I just could not do it. It's like, this fucking thing is like literally on like 3 VHS tapes, and it's like, oh my lord.
It's just 5 episodes. It's a mini series.
It's a mini series. That's why.
What's the
Cody, later on down the road, you're picking Salem's Lot. Is that the early 80s, late 70s?
So
the new one, okay.
The new one releases directly to Max on October 3rd. So by the time my next episode comes around, it'll be on there.
Is that
a movie or is it a mini series?
It's a movie.
Is it okay?
I
didn't know. I go ahead. Sorry, Owen. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. Sorry. There's a 14-hour and 33-minute movie called The Journey. It's by a Swedish director. I don't even know what the fuck it's about. I guess it's about nuclear war or something. Well, guys, I guess that'll be my next pick.
I don't think so. I do not think so. I think
Cody. I think we need to regulate Owen to guest host like every once in a while.
I want to watch
that would be
one of those
we have to
movies.
veto.
I want to watch one of those movies where they have sex for real in the movie.
Okay, it's called a porno.
Well, yeah. I want to pick a porno.
All right. What's really funny is somewhere down the line, I'm gonna like preface my pick and be like, okay, I fully anticipate Cody not being on this episode because I'm gonna pick like a 2.5 hour 1960s war movie for me and Owen to watch because I know he would like it and Cody has nothing to do with it. So that's gonna happen at some point. I'm gonna be like, hey, Cody, and like, guys, it's gonna be the Battle of the Bulge or Once Upon a Time in the West.
Once Upon a Time in the West is really good, but it starts out very slow. So I've been wanting to pick Chinatown, but I'm scared because it's fucking. It's 131 minutes. It's like fucking way too long.
That's not terrible.
Which one's Chinatown?
Yeah, but still, I don't know.
Is that a Kurt Russell movie?
No, it has Jack Nicholson.
What'd you say, Cody?
I was gonna say I think you're thinking of Big Trouble in Little China, but I don't think that's right either.
Yeah, but there's also Big Trouble in Little China, but there's also one that they did that has to do with China.
Escape from New York's Chinatown.
Yeah. He's in Chinatown for like 5 seconds. Yeah.
He runs across the street runs across the street to Little Italy. Woo!
He goes, shit! I got out of there.
we have a weight loss movie called Escape from China King Buffet.
That's a really good one too. Yeah.
So, Escape from Springfield, Ohio. Anyway,
I had
where they're eating the cats and dogs.
They're eating the cat. That's all. I think I don't know if you saw it, Lance. I know Owen doesn't use Twitter, but there's someone who edited a clip from The Simpsons where they're singing about Springfield, and it's like in Springfield, and it has Trump is like they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets in Springfield. It's so stupid.
I saw where
quick,
I guess
you guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
You guys want to talk about the political landscape?
About what?
The political landscape.
I thought you said RuneScape. The political RuneScape.
No, it was funny. Alex, I can't remember what episode just came out. I think it was at the time of recording was Friday the 13th 3, and Alex said at some point in the recording, I go, "Hey guys, you want to talk about the political landscape?" And I guess Cody was like flat out no. And then Alex said he like spit taked when he was listening to it. He thought it was hilarious. Every once in a while, I just like Sarah always looks forward to me saying finish him at the end of every episode. So I guess every once in a while she'll be like, "Hey guys, you want to talk about the Republican transgressions or some shit like
You
that?"
want to talk about?
So,
You want to talk about how sexy couches are?
Yeah. I want to.
you guys want to talk about upholstery?
We got.
Do you guys like toaster strudels?
We need to get a new couch. Ours is broke.
Yeah, because I want
Do
to
not
fuck it
go
too hard.
to Harbor Freight.
You can't fuck on the couch. It's hard. It's not. It's.
Okay.
I mean, you can, but it's not easy.
I mean, it's not easy, especially when you're like older.
Yeah.
Like I lost my virginity in a fucking Ford Ranger 1996 King Cab.
I
and
lost
could
mine
bend
in
back
a
into it.
1990
Wait.
Ford Ranger.
I lost my virginity there too.
Which one? Both of them.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, me and Cody,
Wait a minute.
parked our trucks next to each other, opened the doors, and Owen, oh, Owen let me have one half and Cody had the other half. It's like, yeah.
I dropped my phone and my fucking headphones unplugged.
Oh shit.
But no, seriously, like yeah, I did that then, and I look, my truck, I just had to put my truck in the shop again. And ironically, I was parked next to a Ford Ranger that was the same size as my old truck.
You got really
And I
horny.
looked at that motherfucker. Oh yeah, I did. I'm like, golly, damn, that looks like a skid mark.
You're like, oh, I think I'm ready for some fucking.
I'm over here thinking to myself, how in the fuck did I even fit? I'm not saying that because I'm a fat guy. I'm like 300 pounds. I'm looking at how in the fuck did I even fit in that fucking truck? Like my truck, I mean, you guys have seen it. It's a taller truck. And my headroom is like, if I hit a bump, my head's going straight into the fucking roof of the truck. And that Ford Ranger, I'm like, I had sex in that multiple times. Are you kidding me? All I can do in my truck now is jerk off.
I guess I don't care if this is in, but
No, it's staying in.
but I have to tell my story. When I lost my virginity, I had an Assassin's Creed. What's the fucking Assassin's Creed game where you play as the Templar?
Oh, Assassin's Creed Rogue.
I was playing that and I had it paused. And so now the pause music, every time I hear it, I think about the first time I fucked.
I thought, because I didn't hear the assassin part, and I thought Owen goes, I was listening to Creed.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready?
I will take you higher.
Are you ready to get laid?
Oh, God. So,
Anyway,
all right.
back to the plot
Let's get
real
back
quick.
to this crappy movie.
Yeah. So, Al Simmons is sent on a mission. Also, he has a lovely wife, Wanda, and a child. And wait,
he doesn't have a child.
No, is that not his child?
That's his
No,
wife. That's his wife's son.
Huh?
What? That's his daughter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a stupid fucking meme term.
Oh,
I was gonna.
She had that with Terry. And you know what's really funny? I gotta say this because I was looking up, like, when I don't want to watch something, I'll look at the Wikipedia article. And the Spawn cartoon obviously follows, I guess, what the comics were doing. And, you know, he dies. His ex-partner / friend, Terry, marries his wife. I guess in season 3, his suit makes him look like Terry. And he ends up pregnating Wanda. And I guess she has his child and it's supposed to be Terry. It's really fucking weird. I didn't read anymore.
His own friend with.
Wait. So back up because I'm confused. That is his daughter.
Dead. No,
or is it Terry's
I'm
daughter?
assuming that's Terry's daughter. Yeah, because he's been gone 5 years.
How does
and
he,
she looks pretty young.
How does he turn into Terry? Like how does Spawn change?
Brother, I read the Wikipedia article. I didn't watch the cartoon yet. I don't know what you want. I ain't got nothing when it comes to like some explanation for you. I wish I had a visual. I could take a picture. How about this?
I'm out of ideas.
I'll take a picture
here.
on a Polaroid and I'll mail it to you.
I just want to know,
I'll pull it up.
what prompted him fucking his wife while he was dead.
Well, I think the cartoon, he still is obsessed and trying to protect his wife from the shadows. Like, she doesn't know he exists.
He keeps his distance from her. There's
Not
not
that night.
Well, but before that, I'm pretty sure, like in this movie, there's that scene where he's like, Wanda, and she's like, ugh, and runs off. But I don't think that happens in the animated series, which I think the animated series is probably closer to what the comic book is.
I'm assuming. I think one or two times I watched this movie, I thought, well, maybe is that his daughter? But I think it's because she's not pregnant at all when he dies, and you think that would be something they would mention when he comes back.
So he gets sent on a mission, but it's a trap, and Michael Sheen and his I don't know, the other CIA agent lady ambush him.
Red Sonja.
Yeah, they ambush him and spray green goo all over him.
That was funny. They fucking cover him in toothpaste.
Yeah, it's like,
dude,
why wouldn't
they
just
he got slimed. He got slimed on Nickelodeon, bro.
He really did. They had a fucking slime gun set up for him.
And
no, Owen.
Yeah.
You're the dead man.
Dude, what?
Let's see, you're the dead man. That's what Martin Sheen says when he throws a cigar on him.
He said, no, you got Nickelodeon gagged.
And he lights him on fire, and he's like, no! And then the place blows up, and it releases like some like virus or whatever into the
I don't think the time in him being on fire and the place blowing up, Martin Sheen and his girlfriend could have escaped in that time.
Yeah. He said, my ass is on fire. And then all of a sudden he's waking up on top of a church. The big, magnificent.
He's like, man, did I have Taco Bell last night?
So my tum. And
he said,
he wakes up and he wakes up and there's John Leguizamo there in all of his clown glory. Fun.
Like, you died and went to hello, my honey. Hello, my crispy.
They should have made this movie like how they do it in the first issue of the just make it like he's already fucking Spawn, and then throughout the movie we kind of like
you find out what happened to him.
You find out his life.
Yeah, because it is like it is a bit of a slow start.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Owen,
and it's stupid.
Owen, I would say, Owen, if you did that, that would be following the narration to Deadpool to a T.
Yeah, you're right. It's in media res style, bro. It's stylized.
It's kind of funny, like,
wondering why am I here?
Yeah, it's like that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, it all started when I got exploded. When I got covered in Nickelodeon gag.
It's kind of funny, like, this movie, I think it's an hour and 38. And the first Venom movie is like an hour and 35. But the first Venom movie is kind of like the same thing. If you watch the first half, I mean, it's kind of boring as it's setting up everything. And then when Eddie gets the suit, the movie gets exponentially better. Still not a great movie. I still love it. I think the Venom parts are great. But this movie, the first half is kind of a weird drag. And then he just turns into Spawn. And then you have this weird Highlander part of the movie where Sean Connery's teaching Christopher Lambert how to be a Highlander, and you have to cut off someone's head, and you can't get your head cut off and shit. And that's what this old dude is doing for Spawn in the middle of this movie for like 5 minutes. He gets like 3 minutes of training. Okay, you're good to go.
Yeah, he's like
what?
Like, yeah. I don't even know why he's in the movie.
Yeah, really.
So that's supposed to be the medieval Spawn, right?
I don't know.
I mean, he's from like 500.
I don't think so, but I mean, maybe. Because I mean
he's like
medieval Spawn,
he's been a Spawn for 500 years.
Yeah, but like medieval Spawn looked like Spawn.
So it's like Ghost Rider.
Yeah. So the next Spawn's going to be.
You have old Sam Elliott there to walk you through how to be a Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And then Nicolas Cage is like, "Oh man,
he's like, whoa,
I love being Ghost Rider.
I'm Spawn or something, I guess. What the fuck?"
How much better would this movie have been if Oh God, what's the guy we were just talking about? The actor, was it Sam Elliott? Sam
Sam
Elliott
Elliott.
was this old Spawn,
That would
and
have been
not this
much
British
better.
guy.
Hello
The
there.
narration been great. It'd been like the Big Lebowski.
No,
Hello
so
there, partner.
I'm looking on the Wikipedia page, and the character is Cogliostro. Is who that old dude is. He's not medieval Spawn.
Okay, well, I didn't know. I was just asking you. Don't get hot about it.
Yeah, you're fucking wrong. Okay,
Make me reach to
Hey,
this
next
phone.
time don't lick the microphone as you're talking to me. Okay.
don't do what?
Don't make me reach to this phone.
So don't lick
smack
the
you around the
microphone.
teeth.
Cody, Owen, that Ford Ranger was a long time ago. We've grown apart since then. All right, Owen.
Anyway, so he wakes up on top of the church. John Leguizamo is there as a clown called the Violator, and he cracks a lot of jokes in this movie. I mean, a lot. And while he is the best part of this movie, it doesn't always feel like he really fits in the scenes that he's in, which maybe I guess is just how this character is. But fun fact, when John Leguizamo had to wear this suit, like the big fat suit for this, he basically had to like squat down all the time.
Oh, really?
I
thought he was
yeah.
actually just like 4'3" in real life.
No, they said that he would, like, there were scenes where as soon as they would get done filming the scene, he would just like fall on the ground because like he had like literally he's spending this entire time just like squatting.
So, shout out to the guy who played Rumpelstiltskin and John Lithgow. What is this guy's name?
Leguizamo, not John Lithgow.
Who played the Violator, because that's some dedication. Also, the guy who plays the Violator is better known as Sid the Sloth.
Yes,
So,
yeah. So yeah.
okay. What is your favorite scene with the Violator?
The Violator.
I like it when he violates. What does he violate? I didn't see him violate shit.
He violated my
I mean,
eyeballs.
he violated
when he transformed. Or when he was dancing in that
violated
cheerleader.
a piece of pizza. Dude, that was about to say, him doing the, like, you're dead. B-E-D, dead is one of my favorite scenes. And then the part where he's in the shadows, he goes, that's an adorable little dress. I wonder if they got it in my size. Small Spawn, he's our man.
when that
That scene
happened,
was like out of fucking nowhere. It like,
So-
literally didn't do
so-
shit.
Stephanie wasn't in the room when I was watching Spawn, and she walked in right at that scene. And it's like, I was just like thinking to myself, oh man, why is this the scene that she's walking in on? It's like, she gave me this look like, what the fuck are you watching?
that fucking, I swear to God, dude, that part when he's doing that feminine voice, he goes, what an adorable little dress. I wonder if they have it in my size. It fucking kills me. I swear, man. That's crazy, though, that he was like, having to like fucking stoop down to do this. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah. So this is basically when the plot gets very like samey. It's a lot of Spawn trying to come to grips with what he is now and what his purpose is. Coming to grips with the fact that what?
Oh, it's this full blown, cracked out Tim Burton at this point.
Yeah. He's coming to grips with like the fact that it's been 5 years, that his wife is now with his best friend, and he wants revenge on Martin Sheen and the android lady from Jason X, and
He wants revenge on Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence too.
He's gonna enact Montezuma's revenge.
He was so angry that Martin Lawrence took that ecstasy and wanted to fuck that fish.
Hey, what's the guy's name in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? I'm drawing a blank.
John Candy?
John Candy?
Not that one.
Steve Martin?
Yeah.
So yeah, he wants revenge on Steve Martin. He wants revenge on Martin Short. He hates all Martins.
Yeah, anyone with Martin in their name. Martin Jannetty.
Dude, yesterday I fucked up and I was telling well, it was this morning. I turned into an old man somehow, and I was telling my girlfriend as I was trying to fondle her, and she goes, "Get away from me!" I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw you through the window like Marty Jannetty did Shawn Michaels. I'm like, how did I fuck that up? What happened to me?
She probably didn't know the difference anyway.
Oh no, oh she does. I've showed her all this shit and have had it
Yeah.
drilled into her head.
Is that the sweet nothings that you whisper in her ear? Martin Jannetty.
Yeah, like when
Marty.
I always tell her,
Shawn
I'm like, hey,
Michaels through window.
say, baby, when you wake up, I'm gonna be Johnny 24.
Um.
God,
So yeah,
ouchies.
it's a lot of him like coming to grips with what he is, learning like his abilities and everything. He meets.
Owen, you good over there?
Sorry, I
Yeah,
had to.
Owen, what are you doing?
I'm taking a
You took your microphone and started rubbing your titty with it.
yeah, masturbating, listening to you guys.
I guess
It's like a Ford
Don't-
Ranger,
Don't ruin it.
1996.
Don't ruin it. I'm almost there. No, I was munching on this food.
don't worry, we'll wait.
No,
All right.
go ahead.
Anyway, so there's a scene where there's like some sort of like gala or some shit, and he shows up and he's there to kill Martin Short and
I think he's meeting up with the his partner, the members of the UN, because obviously he's trying to play everybody
yeah,
for their self defenses and shit like that. I think that's what it is. It's not an art gala. It's just a bunch of rich people.
Yeah, it's a bunch of rich people sucking each other off.
It's a bunch of
Like
warlords.
like one
and
of
shit.
Jeffrey Epstein's parties.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Uh,
At my old job, we went to a.
Reminds me of that Ford Ranger.
Yeah, I went at my old job. We all had this community Ford Ranger that we'd all get fucked in. It's like the casting couch. But we went to a conference and they had like one of those meetings that were
I mean,
like that.
Owen was 6 years old at the time.
Stop eating! God damn it!
I'm sorry, what?
I said, I mean, Owen was 6 years old at the time he lost his virginity, evidently, with me.
Oh
So-
Lord!
Maybe that needs to be cut out.
Yeah,
It's too far.
Yeah, it is. Hey, Cody, 1 hour and 3 minutes, buddy.
There you go.
as well as all the chewing.
No, leave that in. Put that over the joke. Lance says just cut his audio and leave me chewing.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Filmoscopy, where we review movies and we review dinners.
This grilled cheese is pretty good. It tastes really good when I dip it into this tomato soup as well.
That is like the squishiest sounding grilled cheese ever. It sounds like you're just like chewing on a fucking like wet slab of like roast beef or something. It's
because
gross.
I
Maybe
dip it into this tomato soup.
Ugh.
Maybe he's hey, Cody, maybe he's just munching on his girlfriend's ass and doesn't want to tell her. He calls it grilled cheese.
So what's the crunching then?
That's the
The
corn.
hair?
Well, that's her dingleberries.
That's the
Oh
that's the
the
peanut.
corn.
Lord!
That's the corn.
I said, you know that scene? You know that scene in Joe Dirt when he takes the shit rock to like the pawn shop guy, and the dude's like,
You were eating ketchup off that.
he's like, see the peanuts.
Oh God, dang it.
Anyway, so he goes to this thing. He tries to take out Martin Short, but then the secret agent lady shows up and shoots at him. He doesn't realize that he has a healing ability at this
Secret
point.
agent, man.
He gets
He's a
shot.
secret
He gets shot. He's like,
agent,
ah,
man.
my titty. And then he sees it heal up. He's like, oh hell yes. And then goes
No,
outside.
no. Hold on one second, because there's a joke I got to tie into this. He looks down and he goes, "Damn." And
Because
the
his
Mortal
penis is
Kombat
hard.
Special Forces game, Jax will say shit like, "You want some fries with that whoop ass?" And then at the end of the game, on the cutscenes, you hear this woman talking to Jax, who's like, I guess, command center for Special Forces.
Mhm.
And she goes, "Jax, come on back to the base. I got something for you." And he goes, "Oh yeah." And that's exactly what Spawn reminded me of when he's like, "Damn."
His regenerative abilities remind me of a question that I have. So does a character who has regenerative abilities like this, if they're circumcised, do they regrow their foreskin?
Yes.
Thank you. That was important. I needed to know that.
Also went over the fact, or I went past the fact earlier that the Violator says that the only way to kill a demon spawn is by cutting off their head.
Their dickhead.
So when he gets his head cut off at the end of the movie, did you take that as him dying, or he's just gonna go back to hell and be punished by
I don't know, because he's not
Volzo?
really a demon spawn, right? Like, he's an actual demon of some sort. So
Okay.
I don't know if the rules apply.
I did miss the demon spawn part, so that was my fault.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he says, is that that a spawn or whatever can only be killed by their head being cut off. Which is why
he has a lot of parallels to like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. I mean Hanzo Hasashi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was planned for a killing to serve in the Nether Realm. He lost his family. Yada yada yada. It's just, I guess everybody just goes with that like template for an anti-hero.
Yeah. Get over here.
So I'm glad Hanzo is like he's not the caricature of it. He's the originator of it, at least from the 90s. Because,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, it's weird. It's kind of like Batman too. Like Spawn is very like an undead Batman who uses guns and doesn't mind killing people.
Yeah.
So
He also, never mind.
So he fails to kill these people. He kills the lady. He shoots her in the head. And
she tries to fucking knee him in the crotch, and his crotch shoots out, or his belt shoots out and grabs her by the leg.
yeah, it's like,
He's like,
Gah! And shoots her in the head. Martin Short's like, oh God, why? And
No, I didn't. No, hold on one second. I missed that. When I thought he shot her multiple times and she went flying down, and then they said she got shot in the head.
Well,
And it's like, I don't
like when he's shooting her, it doesn't show him directly shooting her in the head, but when she lands on the table, there's a bullet hole in her forehead. Now, I will say, I will say this. I didn't mention this earlier. When they released this movie, on for like DVD and VHS and all yada yada, there's this version of it, which is the PG-13 version, and then there was an R-rated version, like a director's cut version. So I wonder if some of that stuff is in that version of it. And my understanding is that version also has like a little more blood and stuff in it too. But obviously, like 90s, the MPAA and all these ratings boards and shit were going crazy about like, oh, everything's got to be toned down,
Now, let me ask you this, Cody: Is the R-rated version a better version of the movie, just in general? Like,
I don't know.
Cohesiveness?
I was honestly, when I was watching this, I was wondering where the blood was, because I know in the comic and shit, there's blood.
Well, like the first two people that get killed on screen in this, it doesn't even show them being killed. Like, it doesn't show anything. It just like when he spawn, I mean, like it shows him like jumping down into like down onto the street level or whatever it is, and then the next shot is him like dragging their bodies. It like doesn't show anything. So it's like I don't know. I've never seen the R-rated cut. I haven't seen like reviews of it or whatever. So I'm not sure what it actually adds.
In the R-rated cut, do they say fuck?
Probably because it's a shame.
No, they do fuck.
That you can't say fuck. Fuck's just a word, and it's all fucked
There's
up.
titties in the
Fucked
R-rated
up.
one.
The thing, I don't like I said. I wonder. I'm curious now, like if there is a better version, because like I said, if you watch, not to go back to like harping on this, if you watch Batman versus Superman, the theatrical cut, and then you watch Batman versus Superman, the Ultimate Edition, that has the extra 30 minutes. It's a 3-hour movie, but it makes a whole lot more sense than the theatrical cut. So I wonder if the R-rated cut makes a little bit more sense or does more justice for just the story in general. I mean, I'm not trying to say, it needs to be R-rated, but if they cut out some scenes that potentially furthered the connection of the plot instead of having jarring transitions, I wonder if it would be a better movie. I don't know.
This is the story of our love. I'm looking it up now, fellows.
Yeah, see if I could have rented the R version. I feel bad now. I rented this one. That was the first one I saw, so I rented it.
Man, this rated R.
It says all I can find on is there's an R-rated director's cut that includes scenes that had to be cut in order to make it a PG-13 rating, and it also has a couple of new violent scenes. But
Interesting.
I can't find like specific details as to like. Oh wait, hold on.
So
What's this? What's this? What's this?
what if Cody goes, "What's this?" Oh wait, it's just a piece of chewing gum.
Ooh, a piece,
Like,
of,
what?
ooh, a piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, there's like there's a site that like breaks down scene for scene what's different. Well, I'm not going through all that shit right now. Fuck that. So he kills her. She's being loaded up into a cooler.
She's being loaded. Hey, you get the best line that's spoken in this movie. She's like, she's been shot in the head, and he checks her pulse. She's gone.
She's dead.
Does he do that shit for real?
Yeah,
There's a paramedic.
Yeah, the
that's
paramedic.
like, yeah, she's dead.
Yeah, she's.
I like
she's
how
a
she
goner.
gets
Go
killed
ahead and
with
load
like
her up.
little to
She's
no
like,
fanfare as well.
Yeah, and then Violator's off in the corner like, psst, psst, and
come here.
Martin Sheen walks over there and he's like, "I'll suck your dick for $1." And
The horror.
No,
the
the Violator's like, I didn't call you over here for that.
like he's basically chastising Violator for like Simmons being alive, and he's like, it's part of the plan or whatever, and because he's trying to use Martin Sheen's character to release a virus that's going to basically like wipe out a lot of people on Earth. That way it creates more soldiers for them to use as again in their invasion of heaven or whatever, right? So, but Martin Sheen, God damn it, Martin Sheen.
What do you guys think Martin Scorsese thinks of this movie?
He probably also is afraid of Spawn.
He loves this fucking movie.
He's like it's pure cinema.
yeah. He's like, now this is the exception to the rule.
I don't like comic book movies, but when I do, it's Spawn.
It's a cinema.
He says this movie has a next generation special effects.
No, he doesn't say it's Spawn. He goes, I don't like comic book movies, but when I do, Spawn.
So yeah, you find out here that Martin Sheen is like, I'm gonna like betray you because I'm gonna rule the world myself. Because of course he has to have like a traditional lame ass evil villain plan or whatever to rule the world.
Look who he's dealing with. The devil's a stick figure with a bunch of werewolf hair on.
So. God, I don't even remember what fucking happens next. There's more scenes. There's like the scene at the school where like the little girl is there with Spaz, and that's the scene where you get the cheerleader, like Violator in the cheerleader outfit, doing his little dance. It's a
wonderful outfit. I want to have it on my side.
And then like when they go,
he says all that from the shadows too. He's up in the rafters like Batman. He goes, "What an adorable little dress! I want him to have in my side."
Yeah, it's like when he's there. Is he just like spying on them? Like, what's the point of them being there outside of?
He's watching Spawn.
Outside of to put him in, I guess to watch Spawn, but also to put him in a cheerleader outfit.
That's it. But hey, now I think the whole point of it is just to make sure Spawn willingly kills Martin Scorsese, and
I know the reason. Some shit.
I know the reason why the character is like with Spawn, and but I just mean like, why is he there at the school?
He's watching them.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's like I feel like he could watch him, like I don't know, like in some kind of magical.
He's watching him, watching. He's watching him, watching.
But I don't know. If you're ready. That's awesome.
So the child leaves with their
hero
parents.
to save us.
The child.
the child leaves with her parents, and Spawn's like, Spaz, go home. You know how to get home. Get out of here. And the dog doesn't want to leave because he's like, you're my actual daddy.
He says,
And,
time to take me home.
Spaz is looking up at him like, I love you, daddy.
I love you, daddy.
I
And
love you,
so he's
Daddy.
like, fine, but you ain't gonna like it where we're going. And they go.
It's your funeral. So, did you take that as Spaz is now undead? He just
I don't think
Like,
so. I think that Spaz just
Okay.
follows Spawn around everywhere because he knows
Which-
who his real master is.
He takes him to the pound.
He knows
gonna
who-
like where we're going.
He said, Spaz says, I've been living with this beta for 5 years, and I'm sick of
Harry.
it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to live with the guy who
He's
gets the sloppy seconds. This is bullshit.
From this point on, I was like worried that Spaz was going to get killed. And I was like, oh, please don't kill the dog.
I
Or
remember the dog never died.
either that, or I thought that Spaz was going to like be like transformed into like some kind of like demon hound or something.
That'd be badass.
That's
to
what
be
it
like-
makes you.
to be like
That's what
Spawn's
it makes you
sidekick.
think though. When it spawned, like I always thought, like when Spawn teleports with him, that like it's your funeral. Like okay, so Spaz is undead with him now. Is
No,
what
I
I'm
just-
thinking. I'm like, but
I think the implication is that like you're probably going to end up dying because this is like very like dangerous type stuff that he's dealing with.
yeah.
that
Which
was
I mean, I'm
my-
an idiot. My bad. Whatever.
So yeah, they
They're
at some
watching
point
us.
soon, I don't remember when, he runs into the Violator again and basically tells him like, I'm done with
That
this.
sounds like a fucking dildo. I ran into the kid of my ass. My ass is hurting.
It's a sit.
He's like he sticks
it's a
it up on a
Sibian.
fucking mirror. It's like he's like, oh, I don't know how I keep backing up on this mirror. My ass is hurting.
But he tells him that he's like done with all this, and then Violator's like, I am the Violator, and then like turns into like a big monster, which looks similar to the Montes whatever. And,
Well, actually, Malajabiba is like he's like a big monkey. This one, Violator actually
No,
looks like the
My,
comics.
yeah,
well, my Boja looks like a big werewolf. I wouldn't say necessarily a monkey.
He looks like a big old monkey.
Like King Kong. Like King Kong was doing a bunch of crack. That's what my Boja looks
He
like.
looks like fucking
And
that fucking wolf monkey thing from Dragon Ball.
No, he looks like Puppy Monkey Baby.
Puppy monkey
it's
baby.
a fucking Uzaru.
Puppy Monkey Baby.
Uzaru?
Why
Puppy
don't-
Monkey Baby.
Get it right, Owen. How dare
I don't
you?
fucking. Is that really what it is?
Cody,
How do you
an
spell
Uzaru.
that?
Cody, can I
Uzaru?
Cody,
Something
can we
like
put-
that.
Cody, can I put that in the episode at the end, the Puppy Monkey Baby?
I don't know what that is.
Puppy monkey baby.
It's a Super Bowl commercial from like 2010. It is brain rot before they defined what brain rot was. And it's fucking horrendous. It's like Puppy Monkey Baby. Puppy Monkey Baby. And it's this puppy head on a monkey body with a baby rattle. And it's going Puppy, Monkey, Baby. Puppy Monkey Baby. It's like for a Mountain Dew energy drink commercial.
Oh, okay.
What was that? What was the Mountain Dew energy drink called?
They had a couple, right? They had like Kick or Kickstart or something like
I
that.
think it was Kickstart, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think it was.
Surge.
It's horrendous.
Surge into my
that commercial,
ass.
man. My God.
Oh, side note.
We're definitely.
Side
Go
note.
ahead, sorry, my bad.
Coca-Cola and Oreo have collaboration right now.
Yeah.
Where they've created a Coke Zero that is Oreo flavored and Oreos that are Coca-Cola flavored.
Ew, what the fuck?
And we got both of them. I haven't tried the Coke Zero yet, but I have tried the Oreo. So the only way I could describe it. So let me just break it down for you all.
Coca-Cola jizz in your
The
mouth.
food review.
This is a food review. So the cookie itself, right, is a double stuffed Oreo, and it's like one side of the cookie.
Oh, it's double stuff.
Yeah, you already
Like
lost me.
One cookie is like the regular standard like chocolate Oreo cookie, and the other cookie is a red cookie that has like either Coke bottles or the Coca-Cola logo on it.
Mhm.
When you eat it, it tastes like what you would imagine if you've ever had like a cola flavored candy, or something.
Yeah.
That's what the like icing inside of it or the cream inside of it tastes like. And it has Pop Rocks in it to like simulate like the carbonation of a soda. So
Simulating somebody jizz in your mouth.
so Stephanie does not like it at all. I really like the flavor of it, but I do not like the Pop Rock stuff. Is like kind of like I don't like it very much. But I've been eating them. But I will. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try the Coke Zero.
Save one for
probably
me
tomorrow. Save one for me. I'll save it for you if you
Savannah-
come to the Halloween party. I'll have it wrapped up in a napkin for you.
Good.
Savannah's had the Oreo Coke Zero, and she really likes it. Like, I'm just now getting into the drinking anything Cola Zero at the house when I take it to work. Which, obviously, I'm a big guy. So I want to prolong me having unhealthy sweet tea and Kool-Aid and regular soda for as long as I can. So for the majority while I'm at work, I'm just drinking water or zero sugar soda.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just now getting used to it. I don't really want to try different flavors. I'll tell you one thing, man. Like, fucking, if you drink a regular Pepsi and then drink a Pepsi Zero, you can kind of fool yourself into thinking there's sugar in it.
Yeah, that's the thing about the
So, like-
Zero. The Zero stuff, it like tastes way more similar to the regular stuff than like diet versions do.
Yeah, I can't do diet. No. Diet's always had like a weird aftertaste.
Yeah, like
Even when I tried it as a kid, I'm like, this ain't for me.
like diet, like Dr Pepper for example. I don't really like the flavor of regular Dr Pepper, and Dr Pepper Zero tastes almost exactly like regular Dr Pepper, but like I like diet Dr Pepper. But
You guys
anyway,
are fucking weird.
that was the food review.
Owen's not even saying anything. I called him fucking weird.
I like piss.
My name is Mud.
You're like, wait a minute, he's onto something. You know what? I take it back.
Yeah, man.
Owen.
How about Piss Zero?
Yeah, a little
Piss
diet.
zero.
Have you ever had diet piss?
Yeah,
Whole different-
You just drink a diabetic's piss.
A whole
So you
different
just sprinkle
flavor.
some aspartame in it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So anyway, yeah, he fights the Violator and he tries to use his guns, pew 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 pew, and nothing's really working. And then he gets beat. Right, the Violator beats him.
Yep.
And
Oh yes, he does.
and leaves, or he turns back into the clown or whatever, and he's like, "Ooh, wahoochie mama."
Wait, you missed the
And,
part where Spawn gets thrown into the obviously fucking rubber grating for the fence.
Oh yeah, and he's also
Fence.
like crucified.
Yeah, he's like,
on
"Argh!"
Yeah, and then some other stuff happens. I can't remember off the top of my head because a lot of this movie just kind of feels like the same. And then they like show up. He shows up at his old house, and he thinks that Wanda is there, tied up. And then Martin Sheen, I almost said Martin Short again. Martin Sheen shows up, and he's like, "I'll kill you!" And Spawn kills him or stabs him or whatever. And then like, Wanda.
No.
Yeah,
no,
Martin.
no, like,
Martin Sheen stabbed Wanda.
Yeah, but you can obviously tell it's not her because she has red eyes.
I
But
didn't.
Spawn
I
can't
didn't.
because he's a fucking
I did
idiot.
not even notice that.
Yeah. Yeah, she had red eyeballs. Not red eyeballs, red eye pupils.
Irises.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever.
iris. And
Give
I
up
don't want
forever
the world to see me.
She got a brown eye too.
Hey. She got pink eye.
God.
It's like, look at this guy. He's about to call his wife for a hall pass. Who you calling? Your wife? HR. Your wife works in HR?
So yeah, he stabs Wanda, and then he's like, no, like Darth Vader at the end of Empire or Return of the Jedi. I'd get it right
Or do
eventually.
you shut your fucking whore mouth?
And he attacks Martin Sheen. I keep wanting to say Martin Short.
Martin
damn it.
Scorsese.
And yeah,
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Van
Give me a
Buren.
good review, damn it.
He attacks
Direct my movie.
He attacks Martin Van Buren, and then like Wanda stands up and she's like, "I can't believe this. You even fucked this up," and it's actually Violator, and pulls the knife.
It's so funny when she's doing like saying stuff. Obviously, she calls him like an R word, I guess.
Yeah,
And it's like it's obviously what the Violator would say, but it's so funny seeing her say it. And she turns into some like kung fu master and shit.
Yeah. Which is also weird because Violator's a little short, fat guy. So like, I don't know, whatever. And at this point, it gets very blurry for me because I've been drinking a little bit, and also I was starting to like really kind of zone out toward the end of this movie. But I think they fight.
Every time I get on YouTube when Cody's watched the movie, it literally picks up at the ending scene. He has not even skipped to the end of the credits or restart for me, so I'll see the ending first. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I should probably do that because
where...
I turn it off as soon as it hits the credits. But I guess like with the way YouTube is, it kind of like backs it up just a little bit or whatever.
It backs that ass up.
Back it up. And
I only know words like ball. Ugh.
He cuts Violator's head off, and Violator starts making a bunch more
Just
jokes.
ooey gooey.
So ooey gooey and chewy.
He's like a gusher, and
he does look like a gusher, yeah.
And it's like those old Gusher commercials, you know, where the kids would eat the Gusher and their head would get real big and like full of juice. And you just imagine, man, if I was friends with that kid, I'd go up and pop his head and just like slurp all the juice up out of it.
Yeah, you just fucking take your two hands and clap him onto his fucking head, murder him.
And then when you get done, you fucking clap his cheeks.
Wait, you would do what?
Clap his cheeks.
So you would fuck him after you fucking blow his little head off? What? For what purpose? What would you? What is him having a?
Hey,
what
Owen.
Is him having a gusher
it would be personal
head?
gain.
What does him having a gusher head have to do with any of
because the gusher juice
it's
inside
personal
is
gain.
The gusher juice inside is a aphrodisiac.
Yeah. And it lubricates his asshole
Owen,
too.
Okay, Owen.
Yeah.
It's for personal gain, buddy. Okay.
Personal gain. There was an opportunity and I took it.
Oh man, that reminds me. I saw a video. I saw a video earlier.
Oh, this dude get his ass slapped. Like, what?
I saw a video earlier of this woman that was picking up her kids from school or whatever, and it's like two daughters and a son. They're like really young. Like the one daughter that's in the front seat is like maybe like 6 or 7, and they're like, yeah, how was school or whatever, and then like you hear someone call out to the girl in the front seat from outside the car, like, you know, bye so and so, and she's like, bye Johnny, and the mom's like, who's Johnny? And he's like, a friend. And then the daughter in the back seat's like, well, so and so said that Johnny's been clapping those cheeks. And the mom's eyes get super wide. She's like, what the hell?
That's good.
Oh man, it's so funny. But it turns out like she meant like just like playing like with her face or whatever, like patting on her face or whatever. So it's like, oh okay. So oh man. Anyway, Violator dies, and I don't remember what happens after this.
There's a weird like interaction between him and Wanda. Like they make eye contact, but he doesn't say anything to her. Like I don't know if she knows that's out.
He's like, I love you.
And
I got to show a little tenderness.
Because you gotta have friends. Well, the kid brings in, I don't know how the kid finds the house, but the kid brings in the dog, Spaz. And then, well, that was before all that. So Spaz shows up. He has a talk. Yeah, the old man says, I can't be doing this forever. Somebody else has to take over. And then Spaz and the kid is hanging out with the old man at the top of the church, which sounds really dirty when you say it out loud like that. And then Spawn's on top of the church with the CGI cape just looking over the city, and that's the end of the movie. And then Marilyn Manson plays for the third time.
Yeah.
Whoa. He goes,
beautiful people.
Nice, dude.
Or no.
I'm so glad that the movie ended that way.
And I don't want you.
With
And
the
I
X-Men
don't
thing
need you.
about.
The beautiful people.
All right.
The beautiful people.
He said,
So,
"Mommy, I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go to school."
so before we give our recommendations, which I have a feeling where it's going to go, you have to say one positive thing about this movie.
John Leguizamo was great.
The CGI was truly next gen.
Other than John Lithgow being really good in this movie, Cody, I need you to say something else.
Michael J. White did pretty good as Spawn.
All right, Owen.
And the soundtrack's actually pretty good. I do like the soundtrack.
Yeah, I think that the soundtrack was actually like, I mean, if they had like done a little bit more with like it would have been pretty cool. But
dude, everybody, you guys keep talking about the soundtrack. The Marilyn Manson song plays twice.
I've listened to like half the soundtrack on Apple Music.
I don't consider it a soundtrack if the songs are not in the movie.
Hey, they were made for the movie. They just didn't get used, okay?
No, but, yeah, and to be honest with you, there's not a lot of fucking music in this movie, period, other than the Marilyn Manson shit.
And Korn is on the soundtrack, and they're like,
Korn's not in the fucking movie.
Yeah, he goes. They have the MASH theme song in this movie. He goes, suicide is painless.
And I'm pretty sure I heard. I'm pretty sure I heard like towards the end of Heat of the Night theme song. In the heat.
And they had Heat of the Moment too.
You know, this is the movie that the Goo Goo Dolls wrote Iris for.
Well, Iris would come out a year later, to be honest with you. So I heard that was turned down. That they wrote Iris and they turned it down for this movie. So the Goo Goo Dolls like, I guess we'll throw it on the next album.
Fun fact about Iris. It's covered way too much. Fun fact about Iris is that apparently like Goo Goo Dolls were like the writer, the singer, or whatever, was like in a place where like he was like really just like struggling to write anything, and their popularity was sort of waning, and then he somehow had a breakthrough and wrote that, and like they fucking exploded into popularity for a hot second.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a band like I think I looked it up. They started like a year before Nirvana started, so they've been around since that entire fucking time. So, and it's the bass player and the guitarist are the like consistent members. They've had, I think they're on their third drummer now, but for the most of the 20 years, they only had like two drummers.
Mm-hmm.
So they have another song that came out on their '94 album, Name. I won't tell them your name. And they have a remastered edition that they redid for their greatest hits, which is, it's good, but it's not as good as the original version. So if anybody looks up that song from the Goo Goo Dolls, make sure you look up the 1994 version of Name. But yeah, and for my positive thing for this movie, I'll say it's impressive that this movie did take a swing that was actually made for a character that's less than 5 years old, and to have like such a big budget. So, you know, my birds are going nuts. Hold on. So I'm gonna say it's impressive they did that. Unfortunately, the movie's just not good.
Yeah, the movie is a turd.
Hey guys, calm down there.
Calm down now.
It was the heat of the moment.
Calm down. It's in the heat of the night.
Hey, you calm down now. You hear me? Don't make me go down there and beat the snot at you.
Cody, you don't like it when I make fun of your Alabama accent. Don't make fun of my Southern accent. Okay.
I'm from fucking
exactly, but you sound like you are.
I'm from Tennessee. Unfortunately,
I know, the northern part of Tennessee, and you're like, let me tell you something, boys, down in Columbia. You know.
I'm also from the northern part of Tennessee.
Okay, is Robertson County not near like the Kentucky line, sir?
That's what I said. The northern part of Tennessee.
Yeah, like you are as north as I can be, born in Tennessee, and we sound like we do. So let's not make fun of each other anymore. How about that? Call truth.
It was the heat of the moment, dude.
It was in the heat of the night. Okay, Owen, stop.
The
Heat of the moment.
In Arabian
All right, so
day.
real quick, guys.
The moment.
Is there anything? Let me ask you this. I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you like comic book movies, I would recommend this movie, but from a general recommendation, I'm going to say no. Is there anything about this movie you would recommend to somebody to watch?
No, I can't recommend this movie.
I like the part where there's the 2D spawns that do the cheering animation. That's it.
They're like, Spawn, he's our man. No one can do it, and no one
Yeah.
can. Okay.
I like it when they have
this
the,
movie, man.
the scene where they're surrounded, right, and they're looking at him, and they're just doing the same thing that they were doing when they first got there. Like, they don't
Yeah.
change the fucking animation for them.
Yeah, it's fucking rough, man. I mean, I wish, because I liked this movie when I was younger, man. And I was thinking, hell yeah, we can watch that. I'm gonna enjoy this movie, and I didn't. I'm like, fuck, man. And I've never actually watched the Blade movies, ironically enough.
The only thing I remember from the first Blade is there's a fucking vampire that's like 600 pounds, and he literally can just like lay there, and Blade cuts his ass open.
The only thing I remember from Blade is there's a black vampire.
What?
I'm the only Blade there's ever been. The only Blade there's ever gonna be.
You know how true that's gonna be? Like that's
I
fucking
hope.
like they're pretty sure that Ali is gonna back out as the actor.
Oh, I hope not, man. When they announced Mahershala Ali as the Blade, I was like, fucking awesome. Like, please, like, get this to work. Like, really.
Hey, it's gonna be real funny that the Morbius movie made more money than the new Blade movie because Blade never got made.
Morbius.
Morpheus.
He's
Dorpheus.
a vampire
It's
with a
Morbin,
disease and his friend
I'm
is
about to
red.
morb. Oh.
It's Morbin time.
I just
all right. So, Owen, you don't recommend this movie?
I recommend this movie.
Really?
Because you hate everybody that listens to this podcast.
No, I don't recommend this movie. I think it's incredibly inoffensive, but kind of boring.
Yeah, it's
So-
boring.
I would say the graphics are offensive.
Yeah. So what the fuck? This
Like,
doesn't look like
no.
Modern Warfare.
The ending credits and the opening credit scene are offensive to the eyes. Just trying to watch it is fucking bad. So
Resident Evil 2 looking ass cutscene.
all right, yeah, no. All right, guys. So our next movie is it my turn, Cody?
Yeah, your movie's next.
Okay. So the next movie we'll be covering is Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cody, your next movie is going to be what?
Well, Owen, do you know what your next movie's gonna be?
No.
Oh yeah, my bad shit.
No.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, I know. On Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball. Z.
Yeah, my next movie's
Dragon, rock the dragon.
my next movie's gonna be the new Salem's Lot film that's releasing directly to Max.
And then my next movie after that, we're taking a one movie break from Friday the 13th because in total there's 11 movies plus a crossover movie with Jason Voorhees, and we'll have watched 5, and then we'll watch 6 through 11 after the this next movie. Because I want to have a palate cleanser before we watch Friday the 13th Part 6 because I think that's the best one in the series. And I don't want you guys just to be bored out of your mind with the hockey mask when you're watching it. Like, okay, it wasn't that good. But my movie after that's going to be Logan. Because I've been watching a ton of people react to that movie. I just rewatched it with Savannah last week at the time of this recording. And it's a fucking fantastic movie. Like, just, I don't know why I haven't watched it more. Maybe it's just the emotional impact. I don't want it to lose its meaning to me. But it's a great fucking movie. So it'll be Logan.
And then it'll be
Somewhere
Owen.
in the future.
That'll be Owen's movie again.
Yeah. A porno.
And then it'll be 2 of my picks back to back. Actually.
What? I didn't agree.
Yeah,
with that.
because Lance and I talked about it without you one day. You got outvoted.
That's bullshit.
Because we're gonna do.
Well, no, that's because
We're
you
gonna
let me do my 2 movies back to back.
We're gonna do the original Nosferatu, and then like literally the week after that comes out or gets published or whatever, we're going to go see the new Nosferatu, the Robert Eggers Nosferatu in theaters, and then we'll cover it and then like upload it like literally 2 days after we see it. So That's why it's going to be back to
I'm gonna have
back.
to go watch Venom: The Last Dance too when it comes out.
Venom. Venom.
Hit that Venom.
Knock, knock, let the devil
Yeah,
in, malevolent as there's ever been. And lick.
But yeah. So everyone, if you've been listening this far into the podcast for this brain rot, we do greatly appreciate you. Follow us on Spotify at Filmosophy Podcast, or go to YouTube, our primary source of listens, and check us out on at Filmosophy Podcast. The episodes drop live every 2 weeks, and every week between those 2 weeks, we have an old episode dropping until the catalog is emptied out, which will be like another 2 years from now. So yeah, just check us out at Filmoscopy, or just Google at Filmoscopy Podcast. Will be the first thing that pops up. Click on one of the links, follow us, like the show, like the episode, give it 5 stars, whatever the platform wants you to do. Give us some suggestions. Fucking leave a comment. I'm begging you. We have a fucking episode that's got 3,000 listens on YouTube and not one fucking comment. And it irritates me. So somebody, just say hi.
Please don't leave a comment.
For
Okay?
Somebody save
I'm embarrassed.
me from
No,
myself.
yeah, he's embarrassed.
Leave
for the
one
show.
comment that says "Rock the Dragon."
It's been so
Rock the Dragon.
long.
Rock Dragon Ball Z.
In
So
comment,
next
say
time
that.
on Filmoscopy Podcast, Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. Everyone,
Next
thank you for
time.
listening, and as always, finish him.
Off.